Today I'm going to talk to you about the pelvic tilt. The reason I insist so much on the subject is because it is a really important thing to understand when you're doing especially core-based exercises, but actually pretty much any exercise. You need to understand your relationship with your pelvis and where it's supposed to be. So generally, when I'm going about my day-to-day life, I want my pelvis to be in a neutral position, so it's flat. So it's not out there, I'm not rotating it this way, but I'm also not over-exaggerating it and rotating it inwards like that. I'm sort of keeping a neutral spine and everything's in a way relaxed. When I see people especially doing things like a plank exercise, I will often notice that they are doing the exercise with an anterior pelvic tilt. Now what that means is that your pelvis is rotating that way, that is extending your abs, and it is flexing your back. And what that does is, it doesn't allow for your core to engage quite as well, and also it puts pressure on your lower back. So you might result in sort of lower back injury, and you're not really getting the full benefit out of the exercise. So I'll show you what I mean by a less good position. So you're here, and typically I'll see a lot of this. And all I can feel right now is my lower back is kind of hurting. So I want to try to learn how to correct that position, to sort of zip things up, tuck my pelvis, and there, now I'm actually shaking, and my core is working as opposed to my lower back. So often when I say tuck your pelvis in, what I'm trying to get you to do is lose this position and tuck in past your neutral position. So I'm really trying to sort of flatten my back, my lower back, bring my belly button in and tuck my tailbone under. It's like I'm trying to take my tailbone here and swing it underneath, kind of thing. If I was a dog and I had a tail, I'd like want to bring my tail inside, kind of thing. So that's what I mean by the pelvic tilt. Now, a lot of people struggle with finding that because they're not used to, it's not a movement that we're used to doing, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try to help you figure out how to find that tilt. So we're going to start lying down over here. And I just want you to experiment to understand what I mean by neutral anterior pelvic tilt and posterior pelvic tilt. So over here, if you lie down, I'm quite comfortable, I'm in a neutral position. I'm not doing anything special. I'm not pushing anything down or pulling up, I'm just neutral. And if you'll notice here, there's a tiny gap between the floor and my back. And that will be a bit different for everybody. I do have quite a curved back, but you'll either find that your back is flush on the floor or slightly, just a little bit lifting off. And that's fine, that's your neutral position. Now, I want you to think about tucking that tailbone under. If you had something underneath your back, squishing it quite hard, like that, and just removing that gap between your back and the floor, all right? So, but not so hard that you're sort of like suddenly really shaking, because what I want you to be able to do is find that position, take away that gap, but still be able to breathe. All right, so I'm still there, my core is engaged because I've initiated this tilt, but I'm not like sort of shaking loads because I'm in this sort of this, just a bit more tilted than my neutral position. Now, I want you to bring your legs open. And you'll notice that if you're not pushing down, again, your pelvis is going to roll a little bit forward. This roll that just happened from me coming here to here is what I want to avoid when I'm doing my core exercises whilst I'm strengthening my core. So in order to do that, I really need to find that posterior tilt and work at it. So I'm here, I'm going to come back up, I'm really going to tuck, I'm going to squeeze my bum a little bit, I'm going to push my belly button towards the floor, and I'm going to push my legs down without letting that happen. So hopefully you can see the difference. So I'm here, bring it down, I'm going to try to control my breathing still, but it's a bit more intense with my legs straight. But now you should really know, here I'm not in my posterior tilt, and here I am. So when you're doing any core exercise, be it from a plank position or dead bugs, this is the goal. You're trying not to let that pelvis roll out. All right, so you're keeping that tilt. If you want to practice a little bit in front of the mirror, another thing that you can do, if you feel a bit silly, but it's still fun, is so sideways to the mirror, and you just literally go, this is what I don't want, sort of bum sticking out, and push my belly button that way, push my coccyx towards each other. That's what I want. That's what I don't want, and that's what I want. Squeezing my bum, belly button towards the back. Now I'm ready, my core is ready to work. It's already engaged as it is right now. But important, I'm still trying to think about my breathing and keeping that under control. So it's not so intense that I have to hold my breath. All right? So that's longer than I thought it would be. Recap on the pelvic tilt. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching.